Howdy y'all, back out here in the shop putting this engine in. It's a new day. Here we are. The 1971 motor mounts would not line up, so I had to build some brackets there and there. I'm about to tighten them down. I got some of the firewall cut out. Put the transmission in. We're about to do that. What do you think?
We'll make it work.
All right. All right, there we are. All right, made some decent progress today, guys. Transmission is in, bolted down to the engine. And I got a decent angle for where I need it to go. And that's my own, if I can show it, transmission mount. Where the transmission mount was, had two bolts and bolt holes. I have no idea if you can see this. Right here and right here. So I drilled through, double plated this bracket, this L steel, and welded it together along the rims and stuff, you know, on the edges, and tacked it in a couple of spots on each end, and drilled through, bolted it to the transmission, bolted it to the floor on both sides, and got a good line straight to the rear end. And see those large washers with the nuts? That's what is holding the transmission mount. I'll probably put two more later on, one, so it's got four total, two on each side. But for right now, it's all I need is just the two. And I'm charging a battery right now. I put a starter on this thing, and yeah, I got the battery charger on that right now. I'm just watching the voltage. And I got a starter down there ready to go, wires coming off it, so I can just crank this thing and just, ain't got a starter or nothing right now, I have that hooked up, but just to crank it, make sure I got the right starter on there. Pretty sure it's the same one that was on there that came off, even though it looks a little small, it bolts right up. I just don't know if it's the right starter or not, or the right teeth for that flywheel. The flywheel I found and put on there is only it's off a 351, sorry. So it bolted right up. I used all the flywheel bolts off the 351. Still got to put torque converter bolts on. It's got 4 studs to stick through the flywheel. I just want to crank the flywheel over and make sure it's going to crank the engine, is all I'm trying to do. See if that's the right starter or not. If it's not, then I got to try and find the other starter, the right one for it. But we got her in there, guys. She is in there. Finally. Yeehaw, that's all I can say. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it off there for right now. If this battery charges and I crank it over, then I'll show you guys. But other than that, that's all we got for tonight. Builds&More out. Alright fellas, been doing some more work on this thing. Flip it around. Right there's one exhaust. I had to do a whole bunch of trimming on it. Down here, the bars that connected them, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but the bars that connected the actual exhaust pieces to each other, they were in the way of the spark plug, so I had to cut them off. And then the corners that's down here on the side of each one was hitting the head bolts, so I had to trim those off. And then I had to trim the other side off because the other side was hitting the spark plugs. So right now I just got 4 bolts in it, no gasket or nothing, because I need to get a set of bolts for this. Since these are so close right here to the bars, I need really short ones that I can put a wrench on and turn. It's going to be very difficult to get bolts in them, especially that one right there. Ooh, this one I can get a wrench on. Those two I could probably get an open-end wrench on, a short one. But that one's going to be a beast. Probably have to do it from underneath. Yeah, I can put my thumb down there. I don't know if you can, probably can't see it. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. And I stiffened up the rear end and got the rear end straight. I believe it's straight enough to the transmission now. So now I just need to get me a 57-inch dry shaft. So I got to look through the ones I got, go out and measure them. I got like 6 or 8 dry shafts out there. If I don't have one, it could be 56 inches, that's fine. 57.5 is all the way from where the flange bolts to the rear end to where the beginning of the gear is inside the transmission. So it could be 55, 56 is fine. I just got to go out there, look and see what I got, see if I got one that's short enough. That's the only thing I'm not too sure about if I do or not. But got the rear end done. Transmission is bolted. I mean, my plans for the exhaust, I didn't realize that they were going to come out so far. So I reeled up the headlights to make sure they weren't going to hit, and they're nowhere near hitting, so they're fine. So what I'm thinking about doing is laughing this off right here, getting a 90 to come out and down here, and then a 90 to come across right here, and then just cut it at an angle so it blows out that direction. And do that for both sides. But yeah, it's coming along. The starter I got, I don't know if it's the battery I have in here. The smart charger, piece of crap charger, because it's a smart charger, is saying it's good, but it's not enough. Maybe the starter's just bad and weak, I don't know. But when I try to kick the starter over, it engages the solenoid and hums and won't turn the engine over. But I can turn the engine over by hand with the breaker bar. So I'm thinking maybe the starter's weak, or that type of battery, since it's not a regular battery, it's a deep cycle for an RV. Maybe, I don't know what the amps are on it or anything. But even when I had the starter out put it up on the table and kicked it over, it was still acting like it was slow and weak. It wasn't really putting out any power to it. Weird, I don't know. But it would just kick, engage, and hum. That was it. Wouldn't actually kick the engine over or turn the motor, which kind of blows. So I have to figure out the starter issue. But I mean, everything else seems like it's coming along how I wanted it to. I don't think my master cylinder, though, is going to go where it was, or if I can even use that type of master cylinder. It was bolted right there where those 4 holes are, four bolt holes are right above the steering linkage. It was bolted right there. It looks to me like the valve cover's in the way for it to go back there, because it's a large piece, you know. So I'm still going to have to figure out something for the brakes. I still got all the brake lines. I just got to hook them up to the hubs and tighten them down. And because they're already ran. The old fuel lines that are down here, I still got to pull off all those old fuel lines and get rid of those. And I still need another piece of fuel line to run from that pump down in there, up through there and around to the engine. And I don't think I'm gonna need a fuel pressure regulator. That's only a 5 to 9 PSI pump. I might need a regulator because you really shouldn't be putting more than 7 or 8 PSI maximum meat into a carburetor. So it's I'll probably pick up one of them Holley regulators like I have on Frankenstein. They're only like 20 bucks, so. And I need to get header bolts. I've only got 6 out of the 16 that I need. I got 4 in on this side right now. And I still got to trim up the other side and get the other side bolted on. But man, I can't believe I've actually made it this far. Just it's kind of exciting to be getting here. Still a long ways to go, don't get me wrong, but we're getting closer every day, and I'm learning more stuff about this car and having to figure things out. Still really worried about how low the car is to the ground. The front, that is, because I've only got 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches, that's it. Not very much. Of course, on a drag track, you don't need it, but if I, for some reason, pull a wheelie because I don't have enough power to spin the tires, and my front end comes down, it's going to crush all that. But on the plus side, since I had to make some motor mounts, my oil pan sits up way higher than the cross member, and I don't have to worry about my oil pan hitting if it does come back down and smack. So that's a plus. And I still got to get an engine blanket for underneath there for when I go to a drag track, you know, eventually. I don't think I need to just starting off with by racing the street class. I just got to be able to make this street legal first, you know. So we are getting there, guys. I am really excited. Can't wait for the first startup of this thing. That's what I got to get to. I got to get that starter, or have to maybe get a whole different starter altogether, or, you know, I'm not sure yet. It'll click, engage, and hum. So maybe the motor's just weak. Maybe it just decided to die or got some rust in there since it's been sitting for about a year since it's been used. It used to fire this 302 right up when it was in the motor home. But now it doesn't even turn it over. So, oh well. All right, fellas, that's where we are for now. I'll go ahead and let you go, get this video uploaded so you got an update. And y'all have a good one, and Happy New Year. All right, fellas, another day back out here in the shop. Got a little more done. I'm gonna flip this around and show you. I got my exhaust headers bolted down and on. Final time with the gaskets on them. And I think what the plan is going to be, I didn't realize they were really going to be out this far. You know, I thought I'd be able to curve them right into here, but if I did that and put them out right here, then that would be a heck of a 90. I'm going to cut these off right here. It's weird how the exhausts are 2 different sizes. This one is shorter than what this one is. But the engine is straight, so it's not like it's crooked or anything. It's just how the exhaust was made. So anyways, I cut this one off right here, even with that one over there. Cut that one off right here. I'll leave this here for the O2 bunk for later on, but I'll just go ahead and screw something in there and plug it off for now. Or I'll even maybe just get an O2 sensor and screw in there so it's there for later. We'll see. Thinking. Oh, And I also got some billet aluminum brackets and got that bolted down so that I can start running my power wall, whatever I'm going to put relays and stuff on. I got to create that still, build that. But this right here is on really good. It's got nuts and bolts through the whole thing, and it's freaking solid, ain't going nowhere. So that's good. Oh my goodness, I'm so close. But yeah, I'm gonna end this clip off here for now, and I'm gonna go get the other alternator. Oh, the coil pack. After I get this firewall covered and I get the piece riveted on here, a piece of steel, and this is gonna go like right here. Oh, I'm not even showing you. Right here, it's gonna go clip and be bolted right onto that. It'll be out of the way of everything, and the exhaust won't be too hot, getting too hot or anything. So that'll be really nice. Oh my goodness. Still can't believe I actually got this thing down, sitting down in the car finally. I'm amazed to myself. It's been so long I've been working on this. It's coming together. Alright fellas, a little more progress here. I'll show you. I got that firewall all riveted on, got my coil mounted, and the wires ran to the distributor. Now I just need to get a trigger wire to the coil. And I have a trigger wire ran from the solenoid on the starter to right here. And I did crank the engine over several times, and I got the starter working with it, so it seems to be good that way. And that's kind of the progress that I made today. I had to switch out starters because that one ended up just being bad. Something's fried in it. And so I put a different starter on. I had an old used one, which is down there. And got some wires ran to it and grounded. And you know, positive and the ground ran where they need to go. That's where we're at, guys. I'm still waiting on my dry, deciding what I'm going to do with my dry shaft. I'll let you know when I figure that out. But that's where we're at. We're getting there.